Hi folks, it's October 31st, and naturally I decided to make a Halloween entry today. I'm just going to be aiming this one at my fellow Christians especially. Most of my videos are, but this one I have to caution my fellow believers in something that's going to be happening today. Obviously, you know what it is. It's Halloween. Um, Most holidays that we celebrate here in the United States have an occult origin. That would include Christmas, that would include Easter, and Valentine's, and almost every one of them. Most of them have been Christianized to some extent, and the debate continues as to whether or not that's a biblical practice. They even tried to do that with Halloween. They, being the Catholic Church, tried to do that with the Feast of Samhain, as it was originally called to the Druids. But the idea was that on November 1st they were going to dedicate a day to all saints who did not have their own holiday, and in Latin the word for saint is Hallows, so it was Hallows Day, and the day before that was Hallows Eve. But unfortunately, it did not get the least bit Christianized. Maybe it is in Catholic circles, I wouldn't know, but in the way it's practiced in the old world as well as in here, Halloween practices came over here during the 1840s with the Irish potato famine, and all the Irish immigrants came over here and brought their old druidic practices with them. But not to the same grotesque way that they were originally practiced, complete with human and animal sacrifices and the like. But therein lies the point, is the fact that it is a pagan holiday. Pagans and witches and Wiccans and and Satanists and almost every occult group in the world has this as an extreme, I hate to call it a holy day, but to them it's an extremely important ritualistic day. There's information and disinformation out there as to what exactly all goes on Halloween on most years, but by all accounts it is something I believe that Christians ought to abstain from, and especially in churches. My dad's a pastor, and he is kind of overwhelmed with the fact that so many of the people in churches that he's pastored over the past want to have Halloween parties at our church. In some cases, I could understand if you want to call it Harvest Fest and just make it your own tradition that is completely separate from the original, except maybe the time of year. Or maybe you want to celebrate Reformation Day. I've already read people posting Happy Reformation Day on Facebook already today. That's fine. Goodness knows we need to celebrate or remember the Protestant Reformation and Martin Luther nailing up the 95 Thesis. That's a good tradition if you want to do that. But in every way, I think Christians ought to be avoiding any association with a holiday that is that rooted in devil worship and human sacrifice, and like it or not, so much of that stuff still goes on even here in the United States. For more information on that, I highly recommend you look into the video series by Doc Marquis. I'll be posting some links to that, and Bill Schneblin and is another guy who I recommend. There are other sources. I just say please look into it and ask God to, if it's something that you're still struggling with, if it's something that you're not sure about, just ask God to speak to you and be willing to make changes if you think that's what he should do, if that's what he's moving you to do. One way or the other, you have a good day, and just be prepared to engage in spiritual warfare against the other side. There's a lot of the witches are praying against the Christians on this day and most other days, but especially on this day, and so we have to fight back, and the Bible is very clear about that. You folks have a good day. God bless.